After my race, I have to go downstairs and regather my fruit roll-up from the thief, I guess. Let's see how this goes. Oh, Jesus. Oh, wait, what happened to Colby? He's not in the chat anymore. He's not in the Discord anymore.
I'm sorry, Steiner. I don't know this track.
All right, no problem, man. And I'm sorry as well, Jira. Sorry for slowing up there.
You're good, buddy. I don't have my rearview mirror on. I'm going to turn it on, but yeah, I don't know this track well yet.
No, you're good, Rob. So both laps, man.
Geez, Colby only got a 207. That's kind of making me nervous. How hot is this racetrack? Jesus. My God. What the
You've got wheel damage. Looks like one of your wheels is out of alignment. You'll have less grip out there.
Jesus Christ, man. What the What is wrong with this? Something doesn't seem right. Come on, dude. Really? What the Here, I'm not even gonna get a lap in. Okay, great. This should be great. Jesus Christ, this thing is not turning.
Green, green, green. Okay, here comes your first time lap.
Holy shit. Messed up so many times on this lap.
One more lap. 9.059.
Slow. This track seems hot. I don't know what the temperature is.
Hopefully it's not 100 degrees. Well, I take that back, 130 degrees.
That's what it is?
Oh, I'm not sure, but I know when we raced there in the past, that's how
Alright,
how hot
there's
it
checkered
can get.
flag.
I only got a 208. That feels so slow.
You used the 12-hour setup.
I used the CHOPSHOP one that Colby sent in the setup chat.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wow. I don't know, man. This is going to be a long day.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. I sit there in the office too long. Yeah.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like you're home and made it, so.
No, I'm on my way there, but it's not gonna be enough time. I got about another 20-something minutes to go. And hopefully it'll be good for tomorrow.
This thing is like not turning whatsoever.
I was gonna say if you still got that 12-hour set up, maybe use that.
I should.
That's what I had did last week. I just used that Sebring setup that we used for the endurance race. But I was thinking if I hadn't, I should have put them sets in the chat.
David Steiner ran a 2:04.7 as a pole lap right now.
You ran a 2:08.
2:08, 4 seconds. Where is he getting it, dude?
We chose the wrong car this season.
Yeah. I guess the Mustang is not a Sebring type. I mean, a Bathurst track. No, then again, I have the full fuel in there too. I just thought of that.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
That'll also do something like that.
Yeah, they most likely did it then. Well, at least you got a taste of what race trim would be like if you do choose to use that setup.
Yeah.
How many people in there tonight? What, about 10 people?
At least 14.
Oh, that's not bad. No. They started bouncing off the walls on top of the mountain there, baby. Get some spots in the early morning.
The track time's only 1:04. It feels hotter. Very slick.
If I had an old lady at home and she didn't mind racing. I have a started for me now. I'll take over.
Good luck there, fellas. Have a good race. Shane Colby's not here. Too bad. He would have done real well.
Good luck, Drill. Go on green. Good luck.
1 to go. Next time by. Line up on the right
I'm jumping
side.
in the back,
The estimated SOF is
find the spot for
1,303.
That
Pit
explains
road
what-
is closed right now.
I saw Colby's
Tight field
message
today.
because I was saying he
Opportunity.
was in
Yeah,
the
good luck,
Chop
guys.
Shop chat and was in here. So and then I saw his message.
There's only one additional
'Cause I
set
did
of
notice
tires
when
for
I
this
was going to
race.
get in the Discord, he was not there. I'm like, where'd he go? Now I know why. Okay, I saw that message. So it looks like I'm
That's
alone.
me.
Storm Racing.
Yeah.
Oh, I just shut the car back off. I forgot I turned it on. Oh. Of course, I qualified 4th behind Steiner and the 2 Caffreys, who I know are going to be really well here. Those 3 are. This is they're one of their home tracks, pretty much.
Yeah, that's home field advantage for them. But if you starting in 4th, if you could stay on the outside of going up the hill, maybe you have advantage to get that right hand.
Get ready. Going green. The pace car is in.
At least that's what I'm thinking.
Green flag. Green flag. Left side. Clear on the left.
He's good. Well, it'd really be good if maybe Tuesday, Wednesday have trucks. That Thursday we roll.
Yeah.
There's an incident
Closed
behind.
off Friday with Cup.
Yeah.
For that ARCA league, they got the set in there. The setup on to practice with.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. If you can't find it in that chat, I'll send it to you.
All right.
13.5.
It'll be at older now.
GT3.
And they say they got a practice session, a practice race on Thursday night at 7 Eastern. I have to see again if it's gonna be in the leads section of the post.
Oh yeah.
9.072.
Now I have to pull up the stream once I get in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
8.496. That was your fastest lap of the session. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 6.119. 9.023.
I'm keeping up with the Caffreys. Steiner's gone. He's already almost 12 he's already 12 seconds in front of me.
12 seconds?
Yeah.
But the race ain't been going on that long.
No, I know.
Damn.
Exactly. Still within about 2 seconds of both Caffreys.
And I assume they're not too far behind.
Ooh, I almost messed up. I actually feel like I'm faster than Philip Caffrey. I'm like right behind, but it's hard to pass here.
Right. The best places to pass is coming down the hill.
Yeah, and then going up.
Yeah.
Nine point 073. The leader is running 7.058. 8.88.
Michael Caffrey found another gear. I'm starting to pull away a lot now. Well, I'm still with Phillip. Like, I've been within a second of Phillip for like 5-6 laps. More than that.
Not able to get by, but close enough to get by.
I can't get the run off the corner to get him. That's the problem I'm having.
Right.
.743. .162. You've got wheel damage. Looks like one of your wheels is out of alignment. You'll have less grip out there.
Very bad.
Oh my god, I can't stay off here. Are you okay?
.241. The car in P5 just set the fastest lap. 5.993. Car right. Stay on the left. Still there. Still there. Clear. Nine 9.645.
Thank you.
How Nate gets that run. Jesus.
Eight 8.201. That was your fastest lap of the session. leader is running 6.707. Eight 8.267. The car in P3 just set the fastest lap. 5.719. .225. That was your fastest lap of the session. .798. 9.822.
Ooh. I keep getting the glare off of my hood. It's annoying through there. Mm.
8.259. You've got about 5 laps of fuel. You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 9.2 seconds. 8.181. The leader just did a 6.667. You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 9.6 seconds. The car in P3 just set the fastest lap. 5.53. Seven point 857.
Thank
You got a slow car on the right. Go left. That car is a lap down.
Yeah, thank you.
20 minutes to go. You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 10 seconds. The car in P3 just set the fastest lap. 5.457. The car in front is pitting. 8.299. The car behind is pitting. You've got about 2 laps of fuel.
Oh.
That car is a lap down. Car right. Keep to the left. Stay on the left. Clear on the right. 10.147. You have about 1 lap of fuel left. The lead is pitting now.
Now you're gonna tell me I'm getting the run now when I gotta pit.
Don't forget to pit for more fuel. Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. All clear. Punch it. There's an incident ahead. Car stop on the left. The lead is pitting now. Car 01 has taken the lead.
Oh, what happened?
The car in front is pitting. .673. The car behind is pitting. You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is 7.1 seconds. Car 63 is up the front. .793. You're back in 4th position. We are where we expected to be. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 5.428. The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 5.396. .028. You got a slow car on the right.
Thank you,
Car
bro.
stopped on the right.
You got anybody?
That car is a lap down. You got about 5 laps of fuel left. Go left. The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 5.38.
Come on over, Nathan.
Thank you.
Eight 8.399. Five minutes to go. Seven 7.07. New fast lap for you. The car in P 1. Just set the fastest lap. 5.34. .021. New fastest lap for you. You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
No! Are you freaking serious right now?
You've got wheel damage. Looks like one of your wheels is out of alignment. You'll have less grip out there. We've got damage on the back end. The car behind is closing on you. The gap is 5.7 seconds. That aero damage is probably slowing you a lot.
Oops. Okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna park it. I screwed it up.
You just got the white flag. That means one more lap to go. All the damage is repairable.
I had my spot. I just, you know, got stupid because I wanted to hit that 206. I was at 207.0 twice. And I wanted to hit 206 and I just pushed it. And I didn't need to. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. At least I made a mistake this week instead of the crap that happened last week.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Freaking dying anyway. Oh my god. It's so hot. Oh my god.
Nice win, Dave. Good job.
Yeah, great window. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
There's the flag. It's over. Good job. Very good job.
Cutting? I don't know what that. See if Jason saw that. Oh.
And it's great.
Fragile wings. And see if he can throw down a heavier time. How about get a little bit fast? Oh, but story is Wesley Strait in fourth. Theodore's going to be in fifth, up 6 spots. So top 5 night.
Yeah.
Let's get better. We're trying to get better. I got Jess sick. I got my son sick. It's terrible. Direction here. Theodore's actually catching him. West just ran his fastest lap of the race, too, a 2:07.02. Oh, he's got no rear wing. Oh, no. Theodore's going to make that pass on 4. So Wesley jumping to pit road.
That explains why I
Man, oh,
spun
man.
so easily.
Some fragile wings. David Steiner will take the white flag. And we are past that 1 hour mark. Final lap for him as he gets some to Wesley. 2:06 catching him. It's terrible. Wesley Strait having an issue there. He's in 4th. Trying to get backed up, facing the right direction here. Theodore's actually catching him. West just ran his fastest lap of the race, too, a 2:07.02. Wesley, 2.7. Oh, he's got no rear wing. Oh, no. Biggest will be your hard charger because he started the furthest back, even though he'll be able to have the down, which on this racetrack could be quite a bit less. Hey, just they continue to press race 9, so 11-10. Teddy finishing in 4th. Anthony Crownover in 5th. Phil Caffrey, Wesley Strait, Jed Cotterman. Big old dub. And it was interesting trying to see Nate try to catch you there. But I mean, from the word go, you were there. You just kind of dialed in. We went on board with you, watching you go through the uphill section. trying to, and then as soon as you hit the crest of the track, not only close to you, but a track that you have to have a lot of patience with.
And it's great to get on board like it sounds like you did, and watch through those sections. Just got to get your lines right, and if you do get your off, like I was, reduce the risk a little bit. And so coming up the mountain is one part, and then once you crest much up the mountain and sort of look at your laps, look at fuel, and just have a bit of a rest, stretch and gather your thoughts. And then you got a couple of 90-degree lefts. There's the chase as well, but you got those couple of 90-degree lefts, and then another break up the hill, and then you're into that rhythm again, and so you've got to readjust. And it's you get into a bit of a mode where you just flow through this track, and it's nice to get it. It's nice to get this track, to get a lap here clean and good is feels really good.
It was nauseating. I'm just gonna say, riding on board with somebody, like, it's one thing to drive it because, right, you're in control. You know where your points are. You're looking at your nose. You're looking ahead. But whenever I was on the roof cam, right, I got it all set up to be like just over the passenger, and just looking over the nose of the car, and it was just back and forth. I felt like I was on a ship going through the going through the corners, but it's a great look though. I wish that we could, as creators, have little cameramen that we could like go to and pan them out, right? Because it would be nice to be like, all right, now look overhead and see what these cars are doing, and it's insane because when you get into the dip, we were watching the cars catch air, right, and slamming into the dipper section through the S's. That right there, if you were in a motion rig, would just be jarring. I can't imagine the G's and the force that the drivers that run Bathurst would feel here.
Yeah, we should enjoy that, I think, while it lasts. There is some talk about, so the last 12 hour, there was a couple of incidents right there at that section, and there is some discussion about slowing the cars down there. I don't know what they're going to do. You could sharpen up a chicane, because there's that little bit of runoff area on the left, that sealed section, which is good to allow cars through. If you want to let cars through, you can use that. But they might be able to use that. But there is talk about they're going to modify the track. Unfortunately, there was a big accident at the 12, and one slower category vehicle was letting through one of the pros, and there's not much room, and you're turning slight right with brake on, and it's just a recipe. And so one driver I think ended up with at least one fractured vertebrae from an incident there. I think he was in an Audi R8 from memory, but yeah, that's what they're going to look at now. So we're going to enjoy that. We'll be all right. We'll do it virtually. There's no risk, right? Can't get injured here. But yeah, that might, in the future, in the real terms, that might change.
Well, leave it alone. Just no. Race safety is, or driver safety is the most important factor of racing. We're doing 170 miles an hour on the straightaways. In the uphill section, 90, 91, 92, to 120 miles an hour in some sections, and when you get to the downhill section, you're trying to steer with brake modulation, even though you're turning the wheel. There's a lot of feedback that the car gives, and we're just watching how that goes, and hopefully Bathurst and Mount Panorama they come up with a good solution to not take away from the racing, but also we definitely want to make it safe.
Yeah, of course, but it is motorsport.
I mean, NASCAR took out the horsepower too, so we're up. We know.
Yeah, okay. I mean, look, there's been some heavy crashes. I mean, the walls are right there. There's plenty of them. But from memory, in recent times, the first time there's been an injury, it was this one I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But I mean, back in the day, so this track has been around for quite a while, and its old version was, imagine this track without the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, down across Skyline when you've got the wall to your right. Well, that's rock, so that was wall anyway. But on the outsides for most of the track, it was just trees. It was like any track of old, like the Nürburgring, like Hockenheim, like any of those tracks where you just had pine trees on the sides of the road, right? And drivers would go off the track in touring cars and then Group A and just sort of go in between the trees or hit them.
Yeah.
And so where it is now is light years ahead of that. It's safe now. You have, of course, walls the whole way. It could be worse.
Bathurst opened in 1938. 87 years ago. That's more of pedal car simulation. That's back when they were taking the Ford 100s up and trying to maximize it. Well, I mean, motorcycles used to race on this racetrack as well, and that'd be scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's for darn sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was. You had all the variation in cars running touring cars here, down from at the smallest end, the minis, the Mini Cooper S used to race against big V8 sedans like the Ford Falcon we had here, and the Holden Monaros and so on. And then everything else, BMWs, Jaguars, all competing. It's just it's a great old track. It's great to enjoy a race here and do well. Of course, we do get a lot of laps, so. Mick and I and Phil, we're more comfortable here than we are some other places. It's just practice, You just put in
it's the hometown
lap after lap after lap. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for sure.
It's the hometown track. We have to drive states. You guys have some of the. We like to think NASCAR is the biggest sport in the world, but we know differently. Speaking of Australia, Shane Newman out there. He's my other Vegemite friend from across the big pond, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for being out there. Thank you for the like, Striker. Thank you for the like as well. And I'll tell you what, we got all kinds of. I had to show. My wife has never seen this track, right? On iRacing or anything, so I had to stop and make sure I went and showed her what you guys were racing, because this track is just beautiful. It's beautiful to watch the corners, watch the turns, and just. It's a BEA beautiful day to be able to watch some GT3 cars go fast out here and put up some good lap times.
Yeah, good. So you'll be able to dig up some of those old kangaroo videos if you YouTube that, and kangaroos Mount Panorama. You'll be able to show her that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, going to.
Yeah. They always they have to run a safety car virtual. I think they sometimes run virtual now, or just full course safety, because there's a kangaroo, and once he gets in, it's hard for him to get out, so he just hops around the track. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a good racetrack. I love it. And David, you had the fastest lap of the race. You led the most laps of the race. You had a good old fashioned. You had a good night. Congratulations, man! 4th win on the season. We're gonna go from here to Spa, and then we'll set up the GT3 series next week, man. Give a shout out. So you get a victory here tonight, and what a good run you had, man.
Yeah. I think what I'm thinking about Nate here. Well done to Nate. From what I could see, he's done everything he could have, starting back where he did. It's a shame he didn't come up the front this time, but starting where he did, he's worked his way through, and he saved fuel again. So he did an extra lap, so his pit stop was shorter. So he came out in line with Michael. And it might have been, I haven't seen it, of course, but where Michael maybe had an incident there. So Nate's done everything he could from back there, and kept me real honest, putting in a bunch of fastest laps of his own, and then worked my hardest to try and answer that. So well done on that P2, and for doing everything he could have. Pretty solid drive. I went on Mick there in P3, and to everyone else, I was just watching the times throughout the race. There was some pretty good battles going on. I could see Wesley pressuring Phil for quite a while, real close driving. I think Striker and Tyler and one other. Maybe it was Anthony, I think, at that point. I look forward to watching those battles later on, because they look nice, close battles. They were good to watch. But went on, and Theo and Anthony for making up a couple of spots toward the back end there and finishing strongly. That's real good. Thanks to you, Jason, as always. Thanks to Signature Esports, and thanks to Chopping It Up podcast, and generally speaking, the Chop Shop team for and the admins for putting it on and doing all the work for all the leagues week in, week out. That's great. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
David, we will see you next week, and good luck this week, man. Have some fun.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you next time.
Absolutely. That's your winner, folks. He's from Australia. He loves this place. I love being able to have him come up and win. And I thought a guy who had everything locked in, trying to do a little bit more each and every week to try to make his race more difficult as possible, comes home P2 tonight. Nate, I was watching you start from pit road, and I got to thinking about it. I was like, you would almost have been better starting on the field, because you might have been able to make a better turn one. But what a battle you had. Congratulations on P2 tonight. A question for you, though. Did you have to save a little bit of fuel at the end? Because I watched the short pit. I know you went a lap longer to try to just, take a little extra time. But were you having to save at the end? Because normally when David throws out a fast lap, you go back at it and hit him again.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was off by like a couple seconds the second to last lap, and then the last lap I was way off because I just wasn't going to make it. And I knew I had quite a gap behind, so I would rather just go slow, have a slow lap rather than run out and not be able to even roll to the finish line. So it was definitely a lot of fuel saving. And like you said, I mean, yeah, I wanted to start on pit road mainly because well, I didn't want to, actually. I went to load my setup, and for some reason the top of my screen, it didn't have the green grid, and it didn't even have the starting the pits at first. It was all gray. I don't know what that was about. I thought, oh, maybe my setup failed, but usually it turns yellow if the setup fails. Right. But for some reason it just stuck gray for a while. It might have been because I got in the car then got back out and it was just messing up for a minute. I don't know, but either way, started on pit road, tried to get going as fast as I could, and then the strategy obviously changed from there. Yeah, I knew I saved fuel that first run so I could try to get an extra lap on them. So you can get, a fast lap there when they're doing their pit stop, and then have a little bit slower pit stop because I can take less fuel because I've done an extra lap. And then on top of that, I took less than what I needed, knowing that I was going to have to save later on. But I was just trying to make it for a battle. If I could get up ahead Caffrey, battle him, and then try to save once I was ahead of him was the plan. But it just didn't turn out that way. We never got to do the battle. As I come off pit road, man, he was pushing hard, trying to keep that track position. I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, right.
And it just,
yeah. We watched.
I was so bummed out, man. I wanted that battle so bad.
Well, it happens. Same concept. Talking about the uphill and the downhills of Bathurst. This one, it's a beautiful track. I mean, describe to people what it's like as a non-Australian to get out here and see this racetrack, and you've raced it in the past, and what's the feeling like as you're going through these corners? For me, it's panic, but for somebody who's running 205.5s, what's it like for you?
It's iconic, man. You get the history, you get why it's so historic and iconic. Just the being out in the country, out in the woods, climbing a mountain, walls on both sides, no mistake can be made, but you got to push hard to get that lap time. I've been in them top slit races where these guys are beating me even by a second. They're down in the 03s, 04s. It's just wild on how hard, once you get the line, how hard you can push and nail that same lap over and over and over. And you definitely got to do them 12 hours to get there, just have the time on the track time, seat time, to be comfortable doing it, nailing them braking zones, and then just holding it wide open up the mountain. It's just fun. There's no more track out there that's more enjoyable, I don't think, than to climb that mountain and send it back down the hill and try not to crash, because at times you're pushing as hard as you can. You're on the verge of just completely losing control, and believe me, if it was in real life, those guys, wow, just wow. Because I can do it on a simulator. I don't think I could push like that in real life. That's just wild and crazy. It's something to watch on TV. It's very exciting. I enjoy it.
It's straight panic mode. That's exactly what it is.
And then they got kangaroos that run out on the track during
Yep.
the race.
Yeah, David and I were talking about that.
That's the
I'm gonna
scheme I should
show
have ran. I
Jess
forgot
the
about
kangaroos
that
that
one.
stop in the middle of
My
the track.
kangaroo one.
And then whenever they don't move or they try to fight your car or jump in your car, see
I
that.
completely forgot about that one.
It is. Bathurst is Mount Panorama is it's a beautiful racetrack. There's a lot of history here. Not only is there a lot of history here, but there's going to be continued history here. This track is getting close to celebrating the centennial, and one of the things that is great about a track like this is that as racing ever improves and drivers become more closely competitive, there's always room for a track like this to be able to do something bigger and better. Even with what, like David was talking, some of the safety measures they may have to take with the Strait racetrack, the racing is always thrilling. Tonight was that as well. It's a difficult racetrack for a lot of drivers just because of the change in elevation, but boy, some of the other corners could be fun for them as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then the high speeds, the big long straightaways, you get the draft. It's got everything. Other than it stinks that in iRacing they took out the jump, because that used to be one of the best parts about it, was at the end, everybody hitting the jump.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but it was the first track when I first joined iRacing 2 years ago. It was the first endurance race, first track that I bought and paid for and got on and did laps on. And it was definitely trial by fire when I first started iRacing, but it definitely made me fall in love with it. And I'll run the special event at Bathurst every year. Both of them, actually. I do the supercar, the 1000, and also the 12-hour.
So I have done my first rookie race in the Mazdas whenever I first started taking on the road side of things was right here
Yeah,
at
that
Bathurst.
was my first
you
endurance
wanna talk
race
about a slow
on
lap
iRacing
time.
as well. Was the Bathurst 12. Me, Colby, and
But I tell
Mason,
you what,
all
if you had
three
ran
of
out
us,
of fuel
first time ever,
coming down the back
first
straightaway,
endurance
the
race
back
together.
portion of this mountain, you'd
All
have
of us
been fine.
was our first time.
You'd been almost dang near able to coast to the end.
You think so? I've never tried it. I figured maybe if you got over the hill on the back stretch.
Well, if you're clutched and you're 173 coming down that hill,
right,
you'd be able to make the corners. I think you'd be able to.
Yeah.
Even if it was sputtering, you'd be fine. Yeah. I'd take the off track and be fine and cut the grass and it'd be okay. You might be able to make it. I don't know. Somebody would have pushed you though. There was a driver behind you that was a lap behind that probably would have given you an opportunity. But hey, what a phenomenal race for you tonight, man. Congratulations. Moving on to next week for Spa championship coming up. There's just so much more to give with road course racing, and phenomenal job for you tonight, man. Give you shout outs. You get a P2 finish.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the series, the Chopping It Up podcast, for supporting CHOPSHOP. Shout out to the CHOPSHOP themselves, the whole league, everyone that's involved, all the drivers, all the admins. Shout out to all the drivers showing up tonight. We had a couple extras that were not always here, so it was nice to see them. Jed was able to make it out. He's been trying. I know he works, and usually at the time we're racing, he's been trying to get out with us the whole season, so it was nice to see him out here. Huge shout out to Dave, man. He did it. He did what he had to do to win this race. Because I tell you, I was sitting there behind him. I mean, yeah, I was like 10 seconds back, but any mistake he made, I was going to be able to take this win away. So he had to hold it together and laid down the fastest lap of the race at the end, last lap, when the pressure's on.
Oh,
and
did
he killed it tonight. Shout out to Caffrey, P3, great run. I think, if it weren't for me making him push a little extra, trying to get ahead, he had P2 locked up. And then just a shout out to you, Signature Esports, Jason, doing the broadcast, everyone out there that supports you, all the fans that support us at CHOPSHOP. and
How
in
do we
any
do
type of
these
iRacing,
cameras?
just all the fans out there watching, enjoying. My #1 fan watching tonight, always watching me when I race. Love you, Mom.
You got some left rear damage. Okay. The Michelin Man is scuffed.
Yeah, I scraped the wall a little bit here and there. You got to get them lap times.
Everybody did. Yeah, I was watching it. There was so much net code coming through those walls. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was nuts. All right, brother. We'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow.
As Nathan Bigard coming home, and then last but not least, our second Australian finishing there in the dang old P3 spot, Mr. Caffrey, coming off pit road, trying to make sure Nate was going to try to stay behind you. The dang old turtle bit you. I saw it. Wasn't your fault. That was the turtle's fault.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what you get. I just tried to get on it a little bit too early, and I probably, to be honest, I probably ran a little bit wide that turn. I saw Nate take out of his jump out of his pit box, and I was coming around just on the gas a little bit too early and sent around. It is what it is. I was really looking forward to having a bit of a battle with Nate, though. It was going to be good.
Well, when I watched you enter the corner, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good battle. And I thought you were going to pull away. And then the car high centered and split the seam actually were perfect timing. It was actually a lap ahead. Whenever I go back and watch you guys at the end, it was a lap ahead. And I went back a lap and where the pit was. But I tell you what, getting those cars high centered on any portion of any of the safety measures on this racetrack, they hit the under tray and they just go for a ride.
Yeah, full credit to Nate. Oh, no, agreed. Sorry with that. Yeah, as soon as you up on, you need to be real careful when you're on those turtles. It's just they are pretty slippery. Yeah, once you've got them worked out, it's not too bad. But I momentary loss of concentration, and it's that thing of trying to make sure that I was ahead of Nate, and I was just pushed too hard. That's how it is. But hey, look, yeah, full credit to Nate. He drove really well, and just had his pits crew working pretty well. He probably gapped me about maybe 6 seconds. He was behind me, and he come out about even. But I knew he was going to do that because he always runs that fuel right down. Yeah. Full credit to him. And hey, about Dave, good run, Dave.
I tell you what, he took too little fuel too. Yeah, babe says kangaroo on tracks. That's crazy. Oh no, they're in Australia, in the mountains. Where do you think kangaroos go?
Yeah, he did say about the fuel. He did say about the fuel. He was going to be
short,
running pretty low, and he didn't have enough fuel to have a crack at that final fastest lap at the end there. Dave just clinched that fastest lap, a couple to go. So great work on that fastest lap as well.
Boy, if you guys were racing though, and you guys had been closer, that'd have been. He might have gotten a couple seconds on you if that were the case. If he was running hard, right? But he had to give up 7 seconds there at the end of that thing. That would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been a great battle for you guys at the end of that
4, 5, 6, 7,
you'd have kept
8,
him honest
9,
if you'd
10,
have
11,
kept that
11 straight 205s, not counting the pit
boy, you'd
lap.
have kept him honest. You had enough
That's
fuel.
insane.
I know you did.
Nate.
It would have been, yeah, I had enough fuel. I had enough fuel, but it would have been interesting if I had got ahead of him
It was impossible
and
to get that
made
lap
him work
from
pretty
me.
hard. For that
This
spot.
car is
And,
too
yeah,
heavy
it would have been
for that.
interesting to see how the fuel played
Could
out.
not.
I don't like it.
I don't know. No matter what I did, dude, I could not push it any more than I was.
That's right, yeah, it was coulda, woulda, shoulda. Had to maintain the focus all the way, but hey, that's the, that's the Bathurst Mount Panorama. It can bite you pretty easy. On to the next one. Yeah, Spa. Love Spa as well. Great track. I know Nate, he's well dialed in there. Dave loves it. Probably most people. Most races probably love Spa just because of it brings a bit of everything. The fast tracks, the fast turns, corners, the winds. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is still my favorite track to call, though. It's so pretty. So pretty.
Love.
This is I've driven this track. Not in real life, on the simulator. I've driven it on the simulator. I've driven it in almost everything. I kind of wish we had motorcycle racing on iRacing now.
That'd
be pretty cool.
Yeah. I know that they don't race motorcycles here anymore, but do you know how awesome it would be to do to do just that?
That'd be pretty cool.
You know, but we don't have motorcycle simulator, so that's a whole nother $5,000 we don't need to spend.
Yeah.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Could you imagine? Oh, man. Anyway, I've already tried to convince Jess to let me. I found a Tony Stewart. I think it was an old ARCA body, not far from here.
Yep.
That was cut up to be a simulator that's already set up for gauges and pedals.
Yeah,
and,
not bad.
and if I had the room for it, it'd already have been here. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd have sold something. I'd have sold something to get that car over here because that'd been cool. Even though I'm a Larson fan, just as a Stewart fan, it'd have been perfect. Oh, we don't want to watch this one. That's when we hit the wall. We don't want to watch that.
My next race, we're off to Pocono.
Yeah.
Tricky triangle.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Things are getting heated down there.
I tell you what, into the playoffs, man. That's that track it favors road course racing, right?
I got my
It's one of the
fastest
things
lap
that
and I hit the wall.
I love about Pocono because turn 2 and turn 3, turn 1's more of an NASCAR turn. High-end, low exit, just carry it out. But the tunnel turn carries so much speed that you have to utilize the ability to carry inertia into a corner and do so much that's gonna. I think you'll do well. And if you don't, somebody's gonna.
I want to see what my wreck looked like from outside the car.
That's the tunnels. That's just have to keep it clean. Have to keep the thing clean. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. And it's the finals, you know. That's you know.
Yeah, where are you at? Now we gotta look at what you're at in points. Hold on. Say ding.
Yeah, I can.
You are.
I'm in there.
You're 7th. 3 points.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Oh baby.
I'm in there. It's gonna be interesting.
The championship 8. Yeah, you're
There's gonna be some high hitters.
It is the round of 12, but you are right now 3 points above the cutoff line into the championship. In the positive, you just need top 5 night, sir. That's all you need. Top 5 night. Keep rolling.
Yeah, that's right.
I lost time
Stage-
right there,
stage
so that's
points.
what made me push it even
points, too.
more.
We need stage points for sure. Ooh,
Yep, I agree.
Man. Oh man.
That's
My
where it gets
advice:
tricky.
take it easy.
I agree. You just have to get to the end.
Because
Be standing at the end.
Yeah, because if you're
That's
not,
what it was. I missed the apex there. I
it's such a
didn't
big
get
track
close enough to
animation.
the
But
wall.
hey, if there is cautions,
Which
let's
I
say you
knew
get a little bit of damage, that's
right
a long
here,
way around the racetrack.
I'm a whole half a car length.
See what we're
Well,
running tomorrow.
yeah, about a half a car length to where I want to be. I usually been cutting this like right here,
Stages,
and I had to yank the wheel even more further right because I missed that so bad.
Laps,
and then I
possibly.
Yep.
And then
That's
instead of
a-
letting off,
that's a
I
race.
kind of was
That's a
trying
tough
to
race.
just correct it and continue and
Agreed.
gain time, but
Tomorrow night.
it did
It'll
not.
be Friday night. Friday. Tomorrow we're going to Texas. That's what they're
And
running
then I
tomorrow,
purposely
Texas.
backed it in the wall here, hoping
okay.
it would spin me to go straight
Texas,
again,
good one.
but it kind of didn't.
Good trick. Always.
I still had
Always
to
fun.
back it.
Well, I've got championships upon championships coming up too. Good racing.
And then I
All
had
right,
no
Mick.
win.
I love you. You're amazing. I appreciate you as always.
Hi.
Congratulations on a P3, man. Give shout-outs, brother.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Always love coming up and speaking to you. Hey, look, first up, yourself, Jason, and Signature Esports for the broadcast. John and Striker for running CHOPSHOP and all the admins. Dave for the getting the W and Dominate Racing, and Nate for that P2. Great drive from him. Chopping Up Media podcast, the Polaroid Stay Tuned Sports podcast, Admin Box, and just a shout out to again to Dominate Racing.
Yeah, your brother did amazing.
Yes, hey, thanks for the broadcast, Chase. Really appreciate it.
Oh, Phil. Like I thought it was going to be a dominate 1, 2, 3, or maybe a dominate 1 through 4. You know, even though we would put Nate in there. You know, off in almost in the same spot you did.
Yeah, we'll try. Next.
Yeah, next week. There's next week. There's more racing.
Sir.
Lots more racing. All right, brother. We'll see
sir.
We'll see you later this week.
Thanks, sir.
You too.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's McCaffrey, coming home, P number 3 tonight, and we appreciate him. I love him. I love them all. Love them all. Friends. Everybody's. It's a good race. This was an incredible racetrack. If you haven't raced it, go to iRacing.com and use Brett Dove, BRADDOVE, as your referred driver. And if you do, and you type it in the driver that referred you, type in his name, it should pop up and say Brad Dove. And if you click on his name, that will give him a referral if you get a subscription. So make sure that you buy 3 months at a time. It's a lot cheaper. 3 months or 6 months at a time. It's a lot cheaper. And remember that you do get some free tracks, free racing. You start off as a rookie, just like everybody else has. Additional content, of course, is paid for. That's part of the service. It's part of what we do. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars invested in the simulator, and it's worth the price of admission each and every week. I promise. If you find yourself out there wanting to race and maybe you can't afford a race car, well, this is the best way to afford a race car, because the only thing that you impact is your I rating, your safety rating. You're racing in leagues, and it's your reputation. That's the way it looks like. So, David Steiner gets the win. Thank you to Chop Shop. Thank you to Chopping It Up Podcast. Again, thank you to everybody who's been patient with me over the last basically almost a week now that I've been dealing with this chest thing. Jess is sick now. Austin's sick. Cody's the only one that's not sick. It's crazy. She was sick though. But I got sick after replacing a water main underneath the house last Tuesday, and last Wednesday I just felt awful. So, and now Jess has got it too, and she may end up having to stay home tomorrow once again for it. So, but outside of that, we're working on trying to get healthy over here. You know, and for those who don't know, I have the big C word, and that's what's going on with my nose. It just kind of compromises. It's behind my nose and my orbital. It takes a little bit longer for me to get over things anymore until we get it all figured out. But you know, it's kind of the way. That's the way life throws you. Life throws you lemons. You're supposed to make lemonade, but right now we could all use a cocktail. So just remember that kindness goes a long way, and make sure you support each other, because those are the most important factors of life. And you know, well, thank Jess for allowing me to keep doing this, and thank you all for showing up for these drivers. And eventually, I'll get a lot better at calling road course racing. I will. Look at all that net code back here. Every driver had net code on that wall. It's crazy. But you know, it's just insane. So thank you to all of them. I want to see Ryan get back here and have some fun. We love the dude. And let's thank Stryker and John and all the admins and everybody out there. Thank you to Admin Box, of course. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mr. Van Nest. We love you. Much love, Budgie. You're amazing. Everybody go follow Budgie. Twitch.tv/BudgieBird5. Go give her a follow. She didn't stream. Just go follow her.